Hey everybody, I haven't been here in a while. If you don't know me, I was here when kind of around the time YouTube was really taking off as an early astrologer in the YouTube space, and I was doing it really to kind of as a single mother to support my family. But underneath it all, I was doing it. I got into it because I thought astrology was dangerous. And I thought astrologers and astrology websites and forecasts and horoscopes were stupid and damaging, which seems like an odd reason to get into astrology and study it. I actually, um, got certification through a distance course in London and then did some other certifications and did a lot to learn really quality astrology principles and decided to do a little bit on the side as I tried to raise my kids. And again, underneath it all, I wanted to do a more responsible approach to astrology for people because I thought it was damaging. What I'm seeing lately, and I got out of astrology, by the way, because I felt that people looking for astrological advice are often feeling anxious and scared or depressed, but there's kind of a negative um, emotion propelling someone towards seeking that kind of advice. And I do believe in the validity of a well-considered approach to astrology. There is some validity in a weird, impossible to explain timing thing with astrology in terms of what's happening in your life, timing events. When you look back over a person's chart over their lifetime, you can see like when they got married, when they had kids, when they got their first big break in a job, some industry they want to get into, or when they graduated college, you can see it on their chart. It's so bizarre, but it's true. There's an undeniable validity to the way astrology works, and I can't explain it, but I have to admit that there's something to it. However, what I know from working with people for years, hundreds, if not thousands of people for a few years, is that so many people don't understand enough how much impact their own behaviors and choices have over the outcomes in their lives. That's true even for my coaching clients. Even people who don't like astrology and don't believe in it, but who come to me as a coaching client, even with them, I have some education to do to help them see how their own viewpoints, belief systems, and then therefore the decisions they make based on those viewpoints and opinions and belief systems impacts what's going to happen. And it's the same thing with astrology. The way you make decisions completely impacts the outcome you're going to get, regardless of their astrological influence, regardless of a full moon, regardless of, a Venus passage or a Jupiter passage or a Saturn passage. It's your own behaviors and your own beliefs, and your behaviors are based on your belief systems and your thoughts. Um, and so that's why I became a coach, because I saw that people really need to understand that first and foremost, or they're not going to get anything from an astrology reading except some temporary release, emotional release or something, maybe some reassurance. It depends on the astrologer giving the reading. But I don't know why the algorithms and social media have been feeding me lately astrologers and psychics. They keep coming into my feed. I'm like, what am I pressing that people are like sending, this machine is deciding to send me this. But anyway, because I really normally don't pay a lot of attention to astrology. Even though I do believe there is something to it. There absolutely is something to it, or I wouldn't have done it. I would only do something that I thought was actually worth looking at and thinking about. But anyway, what I'm seeing is Point number one is that we're living in scary times. People are so anxious about the times we're living in. It's very clear that we're going through some big changes in our culture in the US, but also globally, in each country, in each culture. I think it's a universal thing right now that people feel like big change is afoot on our planet, and people feel it very strongly, and people, are feeling scared. Often it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, you're scared about something. You feel that something big is happening and you're worried about what the outcome will be. And I'm also seeing with astrologers and psychics and mediums that they're susceptible to this too. Their fears and the way they see the world is the filter through which they do their readings. It's the filter through which they do their analysis of whatever they see psychically, or whatever they see as a medium, or whatever they see in tarot cards, or whatever they see in astrology. The filter through which they're looking is their own personal filter based on all their own belief systems. These people could be either really well grounded and lovely and have had lots of therapy, some of them, but just as likely is the people giving these predictions, giving advice, have had no therapy and are really messed up in their own lives. And you're seeing their advice and interpretation through that messed up filter. If it is true that they're messed up, and I certainly can discern that a lot of people who claim to give advice and healing and all that are super messed up. And, it's up to each individual to try to discern that for themselves. But the reason I'm jumping back in here is we're in some scary times. I'm seeing a lot of stupid people out there who claim to be able to give advice. And I just want to try to be a voice for something more grounded, and try to create a little island of calm if I can, a little island of reasoning if I can. And I don't know how much I'll do, but I'm going to talk about some of the upcoming transits. This is a very active year. It's a year of big change. And we have some very active astrology. And clearly, we all feel it. We just feel it on a very deep level that stuff's changing in a big way. So I'm going to jump back in and do a few kind of, I don't know if we call them predictions, but outlooks. It's not even as strong as a forecast, but let's talk about the themes, what you might be able to do, how you can approach this using your own reason and your own ability to make good choices for yourself. So I'm going to come back in and do a few things, but I want to explain why. I'm being a little bit crass and also a little bit funny. It's my own sense of humor when I say people are being stupid, but I know it's more than that. I know it's people are scared. Even advice givers, even healers are scared. People who maybe do have a psychic gift, maybe they do understand astrology to a degree. They are human and they're scared too. So, I'm being a little bit funny when I say they're just being stupid, but I also understand from a human perspective that people are people are human, and even people who seem to know a lot or seem to be intuitive, they're human and they have a human filter at all times. So anyway, I hope everybody's just hanging in there, and I'll talk to you soon.